Why are we so addicted to being unique? What are the psychological and cultural reasons behind the human desire to be different? We have a universal drive to stand out. Imagine walking into a room where everyone looks, talks, and acts exactly alike. There's a sense of discomfort, an almost instinctual urge to break the monotony, to be different. This scenario taps into a deeply human drive, the desire to stand out, to feel unique, valued, and recognized. But why do we crave this so intensely? And why has this drive for difference become so pronounced in our culture today? We're drawn to uniqueness because it promises us meaning, value, and identity. But in the age of social media, where everyone is a potential influencer, the stakes are higher, and people are willing to go to extreme lengths to claim a place in the spotlight. What was once a natural desire to express individuality has become a race for attention, a culture wide addiction to being seen as special. Human beings are wired for connection and validation. From childhood, we seek acknowledgement and approval from others, which shapes our sense of self. As we grow, our identities develop from this feedback loop of validation, creating a natural desire to be acknowledged for what makes us unique. Psychologists believe that the desire to be different starts in early development. Children seek attention and validation to establish their self worth. When a child shows individuality, whether by saying their first words, drawing, or wearing their favorite outfit, they receive positive reinforcement. This reward teaches the mind to associate difference with attention, fueling a lifelong craving to be noticed for who we are. But it's vital to maintain a balance between our belonging and our uniqueness. Identity formation is a complex blend of needing to belong and desiring to be different. This tension is a balancing act that continues through adulthood. As adults, we want to fit into social groups, yet we are equally driven to stand out within them, seeking unique traits or accomplishments that define us. Society seems to reinforce our craving for difference. In today's world, this natural drive for uniqueness has been magnified by social media, marketing, and a culture of constant comparison. With the rise of social media, everyone's life is on display, creating an ongoing comparison culture. We scroll through feeds and see others showcasing their seemingly perfect lives, which fuels the craving to match or exceed that level of uniqueness. Social media has created a virtual stage where everyone is both a performer and the audience, constantly shaping and reshaping their identities for maximum visibility. Consumerism and the sell of uniqueness further capitalizes on our desire to be different. We are being sold the idea that we can express individuality through products, whether it's a custom outfit, the latest phone, or a one of a kind vacation experience. The message is clear. You need this to be truly yourself. Yet, the cycle of consumerism leaves us craving the next new thing as soon as the current novelty fades, locking us into a pattern of wanting more. Our culture is increasingly marked by extreme expressions of individuality in the quest to be unique. People increasingly push boundaries, from bodily modifications and elaborate tattoos to viral stunts and outrageous videos. Society rewards those who go to extremes. But these expressions can become less about personal fulfillment and more about gaining likes, followers, and validation from strangers. Ironically, while we crave uniqueness, our pursuit often leads to conformity. Social media trends and viral culture create a blueprint for what it means to be different, and people begin to mimic one another in their efforts to stand out. When everyone's striving for uniqueness, we end up looking the same. Tattoo trends, fashion fads, and viral challenges create cycles where the very things that were once unique become commonplace. The race for attention pushes people to copy each other's uniqueness, creating a new form of conformity within the guise of individuality. This trend leads to a loss of true identity. In the attempt to be unique by the world's standards, we often lose touch with who we really are. The need for approval from strangers on social media can erode our authentic selves, replacing them with an online version we believe will receive more praise. This disconnection leaves us feeling hollow, as if we're performing rather than living. In the end, in our efforts to be different, we actually became more like others around us. We found ourselves performing rather than authentically expressing ourselves. We don't have to be the victims of this trend. There is a path toward a more fulfilling type of difference. True uniqueness isn't found in chasing trends or gaining followers, but in embracing a purpose aligned with something greater than ourselves. Being different in a meaningful way doesn't require extreme actions or constant reinvention. Instead, it involves knowing who we are at our core, valuing our innate gifts, and contributing to the world in ways that bring purpose. This sense of identity is less about external recognition and more about inner peace and alignment. This is a different kind of fulfillment that isn't reliant on fleeting trends or superficial approval. True difference comes from being aligned with God's character, which is unchanging and eternal, offering a sense of identity that no amount of followers or likes can match. This approach offers a deeper, more sustainable form of identity that goes beyond trend cycles or social media influence.